And hello again, and here I am at my local bike shop, and this might be the start of a new series of videos that we hope to do on a regular basis. And what we want to do is show you guys some of the more interesting bikes that come in to the workshop. And so now we just come indoors into dyno room. As you can see, there's a race bike there waiting for some work, but we're not here to look at that, we're here to look at the bike over there in the corner. So let's get closer. And what we have here is a one-off cafe racer. Looks to be a Suzuki Gixxer engine, not sure what size, perhaps 1100, something like that, or maybe it's out of a Bandit. It's on carbs though, and it's had a lot of work, it seems. It's a one-off frame, but it's keeping the monoshock there, look, and a lot of nice kit on this thing. Let's just get a few more close-ups and we can talk about it some more. We've got here some fully polished upside down forks, fully polished rims, both front and back, and also some aftermarket pedal discs. Engine looks like it's been rebuilt, or at least it's very, very mint. And it's also got a one-off exhaust pipe with exits here below the gear change. Yeah, it looks pretty damn nice. I also like the paint job as well. It's very sort of subdued, it's not loud, it's just black and silver, which I like. And yeah, it looks pretty damn neat. And looking at it on the other side, I can see it's got a window there on the clutch, so you can see things spinning around. And it's also got a set of Cayenne CR carbs, performance carbs. I think, let me just check, I think they're FCR 41. So yeah, FCR 41s, pretty big carbs for such an engine, but I'm sure it goes pretty well with those. And I guess that's why it's here to be on the dyno, to get those carbs set up. It's also got a one-off stainless steel exhaust system with 2 exits on this side and 2 exits on this side. And so yeah, a pretty neat bike overall. I do like the black and silver classic colour scheme, and perhaps next week when I come back we may be able to see this bike being up on a dyno, or at least running once it's been on the dyno. So yeah, let's move on then. And now we're back outside again, and we're looking at something a bit different. It's a Kawasaki Z1100 shaft-driven trike with an independent back end, and I believe the diff is from a transit van. And it's here because it's got various problems, electrics mainly, and I believe also some issues with the gearbox and the clutch, which wouldn't surprise me because obviously running this big old back end on it is something that the original Kawasaki engine was never designed to do. But let's have a little closer look and see what we can find. And as part of its update, it's also having a completely new wiring loom, including some motor gadget equipment like this M-Unit Basic here. In fact, I know all about it because I've just bought one for my bike, and it's a clever bit of kit. And it's also having some work done on its clutch, as you can see, and I guess that's all because it's not really designed to take the kind of stresses that running those big back tyres will have on the transmission. Now it's a trike. But we'll come back and see this again on another day, and we'll see how it's getting on. But right now, let's look at something else. Okay, so next up, if you can hear me over the wind, is this rather mint Honda CBX, 6-cylinder engine, of course, and I suspect this is probably an American import. It's so mint, there aren't many like that that have lived in the UK all these years. It's obviously a later model with the ProLink rear suspension. I suspect actually it may even have come originally with a fairing, but don't quote me on that. And I think it's here just for service and MOT. So yeah, pretty nice bike and quite rare these days. But now let's go inside again, because otherwise you won't be able to hear me above this wind. While over on the workbench, I've just noticed there's a complete engine in pieces, and there's a block there, look, camshaft, there's the crank over there, and over the other side we've got the top end and the carbs. And if I'm not mistaken, this is from a Honda CB404F from the 1970s. So I'm not sure where the original bike is, but I'll be interested to see that bike when the engine's all rebuilt and it's back on the road again. So that might be something we can see next week, or in later weeks anyway. So yeah, lots going on in here. But let's move on. And now another day and another bike to look at the workshop. And here we have a rigid framed XL 1200 Sportster. Now it's on a Q plate, so I don't know the age of the engine or the age of the bike, but I imagine it's sort of early 90s by the looks of things. It's probably been converted to chain drive from belt drive, which isn't necessarily a good idea when it comes to white wall tyres, because obviously the chain oil goes everywhere. And it's in for the usual ailments of old Harley Sportsters. the charging system isn't working too well because the rectifier has failed. So it's having a new rectifier, and also the wiring's going to be tidied up in general, as that blue wrap there on the wiring doesn't really work. So that'll be all sorted out, and it should be good to go. Right, here we have Dave's bike. He's just turned up for a MOT, Dave, is that right? Okay, and you've built this thing over last winter?
Well, 2 years ago, yes.
2 years ago,
yeah.
Okay. And it started off life as a Honda CB250 Super Dream, and it's X-Reg, and now, what's that, 80 something? 80?
That's 89 now.
89? Well, so it's quite a late one.
No, 79.
79, yeah.
79.
Yeah, no it's not. X is, what do you think? 82 or 83?
Yeah?
Yeah, because, yeah, anyway. And obviously you've done a lot of work on it. You've got the pipes on it, you've got rear sets. Are these Tarosi, or are these just like a...
They are, yes.
Yeah, Tarosi. Yeah. Got it right. I've got some of them on my Moto Guzzi. You've got reless wheels, but I'm pretty damn sure they didn't have spoke wheels as new, surely. Yeah. Don't they have the Comstar wheels as standard?
It's had Comstar wheels, yeah. It's got the Comstar hubs in.
Right.
Cut them off.
You cut off the hub, you cut off the Comstar?
Out the Comstars, yeah.
Bloody hell, what? And then did you drill it?
No, that plate is the converter. That plate screws straight onto the old Comstar mountings.
All right. I didn't know you could do that. I did not know you could do that. Because the Comstars are supposed to be, as they get aged, they get a bit cracked, don't they? They get a bit dodgy.
I don't know.
Yeah. And then you got this, and what's it say? CRK?
That's the manufacturer of the kit.
Right. That's the kit for the seat. And is it also for the...
Yeah, all the bits and pieces, yeah.
Oh, okay, so the seat and this rear loop is matching. So you cut off the back end and then weld that on. I think the tank is the same.
It's the original tank, that's right.
You've got your clip-ons, you've got your aftermarket instrumentation. Nice chromed headlamp, lots of polishing. And it sounds pretty nice as well as you came up. It's not too loud and not quite either. So yeah, it's pretty nice. Let's just go around the corner and see it from the other side. Right, so we turn around now and looking at the other side. And I must say, I'm still surprised you can convert your old Comstars into spoke wheels. That is amazing. I didn't know you could do that. And the pipes are like, these are your sort of classic pea shooters as fitted to Naught Commandos and whatnot.
I think so, yeah.
So are these downpipes? No, they're stainless steel, aren't they?
Yeah, but they're new as well.
They're new as well, yeah. So where are these from?
They came from CRK.
Oh right, they do a fair bit, don't they?
Well, they do everything to do the whole job.
Is that powder coat, or is that paint for the red?
That's powder coat.
Powder coat. And is that part of the kit as well, that little panel?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's nice. And you've had to reject the carbs a little bit because you've got the loud pipes and you've got the...
They're rejected, yeah, just to
Did it just go like one go, or did you have to keep on tweaking it a bit?
I did it twice to get it
right. Yes, look at the front end then. You got your classic Gators, a brand new master cylinder, because as you say, the other one was knackered. I won't say effed. These are little retro Speedo and Taco. Did you make that? Little bracket there?
No, they bought that.
All right. Was it a kit, is it?
Was it part of the kit?
All right. Okay, it's quite a comprehensive kit then. Dinky little...
It's a comprehensive kit, but they don't give it away.
Oh, no, they don't give it away, you've got to pay for it, yeah. Well, it's worth it if it's a good bit of kit, as I say. Right, let's spin around and see it from the other side. Okay, so now looking at the rider's eye view, as it were, you've got twin chrome clocks, dinky little bracket, as you say, that's part of the kit, LEDs, and yeah, pretty good. And this has also been powder coated as well. Yeah, so overall, pretty nice bike. And I mean, had you owned the bike a long time?
No, I bought it to do this.
Oh right, okay. Okay, you bought it to do that. All right. Go on then, start it for me so we can hear it going. So we can hear them nice pipes. No, you're all right. I'll cut you out, mate. We might see your jacket arm or something, but that's about it. Nice, isn't it? It's the best sounding. It's the best sounding CB250 I've ever heard. So yeah, it's nice. Okay then, great stuff. Hopefully it'll pass its MOT, and you'll soon be home. And now here we are, and we found tucked away in the corner of the workshop this kind of semi-customised, I assume it's a Honda C50 or C90, which I think Tim's going to do some more work on in the near future. So yeah, it's a bit different to say the least. And if we look on the floor next to it, we see a performance exhaust pipe and various bits and bobs, a clutch and so on, which are going to go on this bike in the near future. And next to it, in the corner of the workshop, is this, an MV Augusta Dragster 800 RR. It's fully blinged up. It's got a lot of aftermarket parts, carbon fibre bodywork, anodised clutch cover there where you can see the clutch spinning around and so on. And yeah, pretty nice bit of kit. And I think it's in for some service work and for some dyno work as well. So again, perhaps next week when I'm back, we can perhaps see this bike on the dyno. And if not, then hopefully Tim will remember to film it himself when the bike's on the dyno. But he's so busy that that really happens these days. So yeah, pretty neat bike, and I look forward to filming it perhaps when it's on the dyno. And next we have a bike that I think would cause some controversy, because this is Tim's own project bike. It's a sort of mid-70s, I think it's 77, 78 BMW R100 RS, and it's in pretty good nick for its age. Needs a bit of tidying up, perhaps the wheels could do with being painted and so on, good service, but apart from that, it's a good little bike. But Tim wants to chop it up and build a scrambler out of it. And lots of folks have said to me, it's far too good for that. But Tim replies, well, find me a decent bike like this for less money and I'll buy it and we'll keep this one standard. And there just aren't that many around. I think they've all been snapped up by hipsters down in London, and yeah, the prices have gone through the roof. So I think this bike may well end up being scramblerised, or at least being customised in some way. Not right now, perhaps next winter when he's got some free time, if ever. But yeah, again, we'll come back and film the progress of this bike if it ever gets customised. So, moving on then. And also, here's the bike which the engine came out of, that's currently on the bench being rebuilt. I was right, it is a Honda CB404 from the mid-70s, and this particular one has obviously been customised into a kind of a cafe racer retro kind of a look, along with these retro Firestone tyres. Anyway, again, we'll come back another day in a few weeks' time perhaps and see this bike when it's back together again and the engine is running. So let's move on. While last, but by no means least, we have this Yamaha X-Up 1000, and it's owned by Side Mechanic, and right now the engine's in bits, it's going to be rebuilt, and as you can see it's going for sort of half flat tracker, half kind of, I don't know, cyberpunk, apocalyptic kind of look for the bike. It's got some, I think these might be KTM forks here, some upside down forks, while at the back there we see he's got an XR 750 style aluminium rear seat unit. And again, this is a long-term project. They don't get much time to work on their own projects here, so God knows when that'll be finished, perhaps next winter. But again, we'll come back and see progress on this bike when it happens. So anyway, thanks for watching and cheers.